Support. There's Mike.
Good evening. This is Orson Welles, your producer of a special series of broadcasts presented by the makers of Pabst Blue Ribbon, the Mercury Summer Theater of the Air. Ladies and gentlemen, the element of suspense is so vital to our story tonight that our sponsors, the makers of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, are omitting their usual commercial message during the intermission between the acts, so that our play will go uninterrupted from spooky start to spooky finish. We of the Mercury reckon that a story doesn't have to appeal to the heart, it can also appeal to the spine. Sometimes you want your heart to be warm, sometimes you want your spine to tingle. Well, the tingling, it's to be hoped, will be quite audible as you listen tonight to a classic among radio thrillers. Its author is one of the most gifted of all the writers who ever worked for this medium, Lucille Fletcher, who wrote the greatest single radio script ever written. Sorry, wrong number. The title of this terrifying little tale of Gru this evening is another spine tingler by name The Hitchhiker. Auto camp on Route 66, just west of Gallup, New Mexico. If I tell it, maybe it'll help me. It'll keep me from going crazy. But I must tell this quickly. I'm not crazy now. I feel perfectly well. Perfectly well. Except that I'm running a slight temperature. My name is Ronald Adams. I'm 36 years of age, unmarried, tall, dark, with a black mustache. I drive a 1940 Ford V8, license number 6B7989. I was born in Brooklyn. All this I know. I know that I'm at this moment perfectly sane. That it is not me who's gone mad, but something else. Something utterly beyond my control. But I must speak quickly. At any moment, the link with life may break. This may be the last thing I ever tell on earth. The last night I ever see the stars. 6 days ago, I left Brooklyn to drive to California.
Goodbye, son. Good luck to you, my boy.
Goodbye, Mother. Here, give me a kiss, and then I'll go.
I'll come out with you to the car.
Ah, it's raining. Stay here at the door.
Oh,
Hey, what's this, tears?
oh, it's just a trip, Ronald. I wish you weren't driving.
Oh, Mother, there you go again. People do it every day.
I know, but you'll be careful now. Promise me you'll be extra careful. Don't fall asleep or drive fast. Or pick up any strangers on the road.
Strangers, don't you worry. There's anything going to happen. It's just 8 days of perfectly simple driving on smooth, decent, civilized roads with a hot dog or a hamburger stand every 10 miles. I was in excellent spirits. Drive ahead. Even the loneliness seemed like a lark. But I reckoned without him. Crossing Brooklyn Bridge that morning in the rain, I saw a man leaning against the cables. He seemed to be waiting for a lift. There were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. He was carrying a cheap overnight bag in one hand. He was thin, nondescript, with a cap pulled down over his eyes. He stepped off the walk, and if I hadn't swerved, I'd have hit him. I almost did. Almost did hit him. Now, I would have forgotten him completely, except that just an hour later, while crossing the Pulaski Skyway over the Jersey Flats, I saw him again. At least he looked like the same person. He was standing now with one thumb pointing west. I couldn't figure out how he got there, but I thought maybe one of those fast trucks had picked him up, beat me to the Skyway, and let him off. I didn't stop for him. Then, late that night, I saw him again. It was on the New Pennsylvania Turnpike between Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. It's 265 miles long at a very high speed limit. I was just slowing down for one of the tunnels when I saw him standing under an arc light by the side of the road. I could see him quite distinctly. The bag, the cap, even the spots of fresh rain spattered over his shoulders. He hailed me this time. I stepped on the gas like a shot. It's lonely country through the Alleghenies, and I had no intention of stopping. Besides, the coincidences, or whatever it was, maybe the Willers. I stopped for that gas station.
Doctor, fill her up, eh? Check your oil?
No, thanks.
Nice night, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. It hasn't been raining here lately, has it?
Not a drop of rain all week.
Oh, no? I suppose that hasn't done your business any harm.
Well, people drive through here all kinds of weather. Mostly goodness, though. Ain't many pleasure cars out in the turnpike this season around here.
Now, what about hitchhikers?
Hitchhikers here?
Well, what's the matter? Don't you ever see any?
A guy'd be a fool to start out to hitchhike on this road. Look at it.
And you never see anybody?
No. Maybe they get a lift before the turnpike starts. I mean, you know, just before the toll house. But then it's a mighty long ride. Most cars wouldn't pick up a guy for that long a ride. This is pretty lonesome country here, mountains and woods.
Yeah.
You never seen nobody like that, have you?
Oh, no, it's just a technical question.
Oh, I see. Well, that'll be $1.49 with the tax.
The thing gradually passed from my mind is coincidence. I had a good night's sleep in Pittsburgh. I didn't think about the man all next day until just outside of Zanesville, Ohio. I saw him again. It was a bright, sunshiny afternoon. The peaceful Ohio fields, brown with the autumn stubble, lay dreaming in the golden light. I was driving slowly, drinking it in, when the road suddenly ended in a detour. In front of the barrier, he was standing. Let me explain about his appearance before I go on. I repeat, there was nothing sinister about him. He was as drab as a mud fence, and with his attitude menacing, he merely stood there, waiting, almost drooping a little, the cheap overnight bag in his hand. He looked as though he'd been waiting there for hours. He hailed me. He started to walk forward. I'd stopped the car, of course, for the detour. For a few minutes, I couldn't seem to find the new road. I realized he must be thinking that I'd stopped for him. No, I'm not just now. I'm sorry.
Going to California?
No, not today. The other way. I'm going to New York. Sorry. After I got the car back onto the road again, I felt like a fool. Yet the thought of picking him up, of having him sit beside me, was somehow unbearable. Yet at the same time, I felt more than ever unspeakably alone. Hour after hour went by. The fields, the towns ticked off one by one. The lights changed. I knew now that I was going to see him again. And though I dreaded the sight, I caught myself searching the side of the road, waiting for him to appear.
What's the wrong?
You sell sandwiches and pop here, don't you?
Yes, we do. It is time. It's closed up for the night.
I know, but I was wondering if you could possibly have a cup of coffee. Black coffee.
Not at this time of night, mister. My wife, the cook, will feed me later.
Well, now, listen, just a minute ago, there was a man standing here, right beside here, and he was a suspicious-looking man.
Henry? Who is it, Henry?
It's over to Mother. She's a better thing she wants a cup of coffee.
Go back in the bed.
I don't mean to disturb you, but you see, I was driving along when I just happened to look, and there he was.
What was he doing?
Nothing.
You've been hitting a bottle. That's what's the matter with you. You got nothing better than do than wake decent folk out their hard and sleep. Now get going. Go on.
But he looked as though he was going to rob you.
I ain't got nothing in this stand to lose. On your way before I call out sheriff Hope.
I got into the car again and drove on slowly. I was beginning to hate the car. If I could have found a place to stop to rest a little, but... In the Ozark Mountains of Missouri now. Few resort places there were closed. I had seen him at that roadside stand. I knew I'd see him again. Maybe at the next turn of the road. I knew that when I saw him next, I'd run him down. But I didn't see him again until late the next afternoon. I'd stopped the car at a sleepy little junction just across the border into Oklahoma. Let a train pass by when he appeared across the tracks. He was leaning against a telephone pole. It was a perfectly airless, dry day. The red clay of Oklahoma was baking under the southwestern sun. Yet there were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. I couldn't stand there. Without thinking blindly, I started the car across the tracks. He didn't even look up at me. He was staring at the ground. I stepped on the gas hard, veering the wheel sharply toward it. I could hear the train in the distance now, but I didn't care. Then, something went wrong with the car. It stalled right on the tracks. The train was coming closer. I could hear its bell. Her cry, its whistle crying. Still, he stood there. Now I knew that he was beckoning me to my death. Well, frustrated in that time. The starter had worked at last. I managed to back up, but after the train had passed, he was gone. I was all alone in a hot, dry afternoon. After that, I knew I had to do something. I didn't know who this man was or what he wanted of me. I only knew that from now on, I mustn't let myself be alone on the road for 1 minute. Hello there. Hello. Like a ride?
What do you say? How far are you going?
Amarillo. I'll take you to Amarillo.
Amarillo, Texas?
Yeah, I'll drive you there.
Gee.
Out here.
Mind if I take off my shoes? My dog.
No, go right ahead.
Oh, gee, what a break this is. Swell car, decent guy, driving all the way to Amarillo. All I've been getting so far is trucks.
You hitchhike much?
Sure. Only it's tough sometimes in these great open spaces to get the break.
Yeah, I think it would be, but I'll bet, though, if you've got a good pickup and a fast car, you get to places faster than, well, we'll say another person in another car.
I don't get you.
Well, you take me, for instance. Suppose I'm driving across the country at a nice, steady clip of about 45 miles an hour. Couldn't a girl like you just standing beside the road, waiting for lifts, beat me to town after town, provided she got picked up every time in a car that was doing 65 or 70 miles an hour?
I don't know. Maybe she could, maybe she couldn't. What difference does it make?
Oh, there's no difference. It's just crazy idea I had sitting here in the car.
Oh, imagine spending your time in a swell car thinking of things like that.
What would you do instead?
What would I do if I was a good-looking fellow like yourself? I'd just enjoy myself. Every minute of the time. sit back and relax. I saw a good-looking girl along the side of the road.
Did you see it, too? That man standing beside the barbed wire fence.
I didn't see anything.
Right there.
There was nothing, just a barbed wire fence. What did you think he was doing, trying to run into that barbed
There was
wire
a man there, I
fence?
tell you. A thin, gray man with an overnight bag in his hand. I was trying to ride down.
Run him down? You need help.
I'm trying to get rid of him. Or at least prove that he's real. But you say you didn't see him back there. You sure?
I didn't feel so. As far as that
Well, watch for him. Watch for him the next time. And keep watching. Keep your eyes peeled on the road. He'll turn up again. Maybe any minute now. There! Look there!
Forward, I'm getting out of
Did
here.
you see him that time? Did you see him?
No, I didn't see him that time. And personally, mister, I don't expect never to see him. All I want to do is go on living. And I don't see how I will very long driving with
Look,
you.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please, don't go.
So if you'll excuse
Please,
me,
you can't
mister.
go. Listen, how'd you like to go to California? I'll drive you all the way to California.
King Elephant all the way, no thanks.
Listen, please, just 1 minute.
You know what I think you need, big boy? Not a girlfriend, just a good dose of sleep. There, cut it, girl.
No. No, you can't go.
Take your hands off of me here.
Come back here, please. Come back. She ran from me. As if I was some kind of monster. A few minutes later, I saw a passing truck pick her up. I knew then that I was utterly alone. I was in the heart of the great Texas prairies. I was in a car on the road after the truck went by, trying to figure out what to do, how to get hold of myself, how to find a place to rest, or even if I could sleep right here in the car. Just a few hours and sleep. Just along the side of the road. I was getting my winter overcoat out of the back seat to use as a blanket. Just as a blanket. When I saw him coming toward me. Coming toward me. Emerging from the herd of moving steers. I didn't wait for him to come any closer. Maybe I should have spoken to him then. Fought it out then and there, for now he began to be everywhere. Whenever I stopped, even for a minute, for gas, for oil, for a drink, a pop, a cup of coffee, a sandwich, he was there. I saw him standing outside the auto camp in Amarillo that night when I dared to slow down. He was standing at the drinking fountain, a little camping spot just inside the border of New Mexico. He was waiting for me outside the Navajo reservation where I stopped to check my tires. I saw him in Albuquerque where I bought 10 gallons of gas. I was afraid now. Afraid to stop. I began to drive faster and faster. I was in lunar landscape now. The great arid mesa country of New Mexico. I drove through it with the indifference of a fly crawling over the face of the moon. But now he didn't even wait for me to stop. Unless I drove at 85 miles an hour over those endless roads. He waited for me. And every time I could see his figure. Shadowless. Flitting before me. Still in its same attitude. Over the cold and lifeless ground. Flitting over dried up rivers. Over broken stones cast up by old glacial upheavals. Flitting in the pure and cloudless air. Beside myself when I finally reached Gallup, New Mexico this morning. There's an auto camp here. It's cold. Almost deserted this time of year. I went inside and asked if there was a telephone. I had the feeling that I could speak to somebody familiar. Somebody that I loved. I could pull myself together.
Number 2.
Long distance.
Thank you.
What's
This is long distance.
I'd like to put in a call to my home to Brooklyn, New York. I'm Ronald Adams. The number is Beechwood 9970.
Thank you. Thank you. What is your number?
My number is 312.
Albuquerque. New York for Gallup. New York. Gallup, New Mexico, calling the Beechwood 9970.
I'd read somewhere that love could banish demons. It was in the middle of the morning. I knew Mother'd be home. I pictured her tall, white-haired, in her crisp house dress going about her task. It'd be enough, I thought, just to hear the even calmness of her voice.
Will you please deposit $3.85 for the first 3 minutes? When you have deposited $1.50, will you wait until I have collected the money? All right. Deposit another $1.50. Will you please deposit the remaining 85 cents? Ready with Brooklyn. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
This is Adams' residence.
Hello? Hello, Mother?
This is Adams' residence. Who is it you wish to speak to?
What? Who's this?
This is Mrs. Whitney.
Mrs. Whitney? I don't know any Mrs. Whitney. Is this Beechwood 9970?
Yes.
Where's my mother? Where's Mrs. Adams?
Mrs. Adams is not at home. She's still in the hospital.
The hospital?
Yes. Who is this calling? Is it a member of the family?
What's she in the hospital for?
She's been prostrated for 5 days. A nervous breakdown. Who is this calling?
Nervous breakdown. My mother's never...
It's all taken place since the death of her oldest son, Ronald.
Oldest son, Ronald. Hey, what is this? What number is this?
This is Beechwood 9970. It's all been very sudden. He was killed just 6 days ago in an automobile accident on the Brooklyn Bridge. Your 3 minutes off, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Sir, your 3 minutes are up.
And so, I'm sitting here in this deserted auto camp in Gallup, New Mexico. And so I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get hold of myself. Otherwise I'll go crazy. Outside, it is night. The vast, soulless night of New Mexico. 1,000,000 stars are in the sky. Ahead of me stretch 1,000 miles of empty mesa, mountains, prairies, desert. just waiting for me. Somewhere. Somewhere I shall know who he is and who I am. Now, here is Orson Welles. Well, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we bring to your radio another Mercury favorite. We hope a favorite of yours. You've asked for it many times. We've performed it many times. Jane Eyre. And Jane will be played by a Mercury actress who was heard tonight and has been heard so often on our shows. One of the most gifted people we know in our business, Miss Alice Croft. Jane Eyre then, with Alice Croft and your obedient servant, at the same time next week, same station. Please join us. Until then, speaking for my sponsors, the makers of Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, for all of us on the Mercury Theater, including Bernard Herrmann, who wrote and conducted the music on this program, I remain as always obedient to yours.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was the Hitchhiker, performed by the incredible H.G. Wells. So what do we all think of that? Those of you who are still watching. Miles Fitzgerald. I want to hear an episode of The Shadow. Okay, I only do one episode at a time. So, Miles, will you be tuning in later tonight, perhaps? Sometime around, say, 1 in the morning. Mike, I thought it was good. Okay, Mike, so did you feel this was of the same quality as Lights Out and The Shadow, or of greater or less? I mean, these particular things, they are not clean audio. They're in very poor shape. So, I mean, it only took me like 15 to 20 minutes to clean this up to get it to a quality that I'm happy with. But, you know, I don't know if I'm going to get a copyright claim on Mercury Theater, which is a possibility. I'm not going to keep... yes, Artmore, I do have Instagram. It's ICE, the number 9, RLN, the number 0. Google that and you should get my Instagram. Like, this is more clean audio. I think I like this better. Yeah, I had to clean this up. Okay, like I say, it was not easy. It wasn't particularly difficult, but cleaning it up was a task. So I'm going to actually have to wait a few days to see if YouTube gives me a copyright claim on this. If they do, I won't keep doing them. But I mean, I forget exactly how many Mercury theaters I was able to find. But Orson Welles is probably one of the better preserved Golden Age radio shows, so, you know. Mary, I thought it was a good story, and he acted so well you could feel his terror. Agree the audio was better as well. Yeah, I mean, again, it had to be cleaned up. It was really bad when I first got it. And you have to understand that nobody, like, planned for someone to be cleaning up the audio 70 years later. So I had to take a sample of the audio. I had to find like a second of dead air, which was just the static that was underneath. And then I took a sample of that, and then I used that as the cleaning reference. Okay, and then I actually cleaned it twice, and that didn't work. So with the cleaned copy, I had to then go find another second of static, and then use that as the new reference to clean the remaining static. So it took 3 scrubs to remove the static to an acceptable level to get this to the point where you could actually hear something recognizable. All right, something that is of quality enough. So that was the same issue with the shadow. Is that every episode I'm going to view for you guys, I'm going to have to go and have it cleaned, and I'm going to have to work on it. And I mean, I don't have time to proof these things, so it's basically I'm going to listen to 2 or 3 minutes of it to see if it sounds clean, and hopefully it's clean. And then we'll remove all the static, but not all the snaps and pops, which are other things. Alan Poe, the name of the app is Old Time Radio on the Play Store. That's not what we're listening to. What we were listening to was a file I downloaded that I cleaned up. That have good stuff. Oh, again, dude, Papa Smurf. What's the thing behind you? That is the Winamp visualizer. Apparently, Winamp is considered an archaic program. We don't really use computers as jukeboxes anymore, I guess. Because now we have iPods. Or iPhones, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, be honest with you guys, one of the things that I had to do was find a program. My favorite one so far is the Nuke episode. Yeah, I mean, I particularly enjoyed that one as well. Science fiction. I mean, it brought back a lot of memories, ironically. It's kind of weird. But yeah. So, like I say, guys, this is the kind of live I do on this channel. If you Miles Fitzgerald, love to hear Little Orphan Annie episode from Christmas Story movie in its full. I can look up Little Orphan Annie. I don't know if it's going to be I don't know if it's going to be something I can do, though. I mean, it just depends on what the copyright is. Like Chicken Heart is one that they were like, no, we're going to copyright claim that. So, like the shorter episodes of Lights Out, I'm not allowed to use. My eventual hope with this, guys, and I mean, this is a real pipe dream at this point, would be to be able to actually get like a cast together and be able to produce, something similar to this. Not necessarily like new written, but I'd like to go and I'd like to get plays that are, open source now and do like or I would actually call them dark readings, but cold readings of them. And just have like, actors. But you're talking for like one of those, it would be like $500 or $600 to produce, and I don't make that. So, Alan Poe, the Gravedigger is a good idea for you. The Gravedigger, is that an old time radio show? Is that an episode? I mean, I could look that up if you can give me more information, Alan. I mean, the Green Hornet is a possibility. That I believe those are only 15 or 10-minute episodes. They're very short. Like I say, I'm kind of I have to play it by ear. It's very hard to search and find these things. I'm familiar with Mercury Theater because the War of the Worlds, that famous radio, probably the most famous piece of radio in history, was Mercury Theater. So, That's just one of those things. But like this is a very similar. The Hitchhiker was very similar to like Carnival of Souls. So the idea is pretty done. Alan Poe, yes, it is. Have you ever thought of a partner? I've worked with other people in the past. Anyway, guys, so as I say, I do have things to do. It is 10 o'clock, and I'm hoping to do another live stream on Richard Lee Neal around midnight, because that's when Phil's around. Mike, I think Tanglefoot and Abominable Snowman would be cool to listen to. Okay, what is that? Tanglefoot and Abominable Snowman. Is that two different things, or is that like... They are by... Oh, okay. So... I may have them. I don't know. Let me see. Dracula... Okay, yeah, I got too many to find. I will try to find those though. If I don't have those for you, I will try to find those, but it's like I say, there's a limited amount of things I can get my hands on. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so we will know in a few days if this is a viable option for this particular form of streaming. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Please go watch my Alien Episode 6, Alien Earth Episode 6 review. I'm Richard.